Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to History at War, where history comes alive. Get ready to dive into the thrilling world of armored warfare, as we take you back in time to witness the extraordinary clash of steel and strategy. Towards the end of 1944, the German war machine was declining massively in the East. Despite surviving an assassination attempt in July, Adolf Hitler clung to hope and sought a miracle. He devised an ambitious plan to launch an offensive through the Ardennes Mountains, aiming to cross Central Europe, reach the Meuse River, and capture the crucial American-British supply port of Antwerp. Hitler's goal was to create a rift between the American and British armies, prolong the war, and eventually negotiate an armistice for peace on the Western Front. However, the success of his plan was contingent on various unpredictable factors, with the weather being the most capricious. Hitler relied on unfavorable weather conditions to neutralize the Allied Air Force's advantage, thus nullifying the superior strength of the Allied army. He deliberately chose to attack the sector held by the Americans, perceiving them as the weaker link within the Allied forces. However, things did not go according to plan, as the American resistance proved stronger than expected. Despite the initial surprise, the Americans managed to reinforce their positions, thwarting Hitler's ambitions. Nevertheless, the Americans were astonished that the Wehrmacht could launch such a late offensive in the war. One of the offensive's weaknesses was Hitler's appointment of Field Marshal von Rundstedt as the overall commander. Rundstedt deemed the plan overly ambitious and lacked confidence in its success. When a commander lacks belief in a plan's success, the chances of achieving it are significantly reduced. Another factor was the unexpectedly resilient American resistance. Furthermore, the weather improved, enabling the Allied Air Force to engage actively, which drastically diminished the possibility of a breakthrough in Central Europe. As a result, the offensive came to a standstill. During the same period, Hitler ordered a smaller offensive with limited objectives known as Operation Nordwind. The goal of this operation was to penetrate the U.S. 7th Army and the Free French First Army, destroy them, and recapture the city of Strasbourg by the end of January 1945. This operation aimed to relieve some pressure from the Ardennes offensive and later target General Patton's Third Army. An interesting aspect of this brief operation was the encounter between Tiger tanks and American Sherman tanks, which warrants examination and comparison. On New Year's Eve 1944, the Wehrmacht launched the offensive against the lightly defended 68-mile front held by units of the U.S. 7th Army. Intense fighting ensued, and by January 15th, both Germans and Americans were engaged in their fiercest battle yet around the town of Herlesheim. With only 17 understaffed divisions, the Germans faced American tanks, as the U.S. 12th Armored Division deployed 3 task forces, one of which included the 43rd Battalion. This battalion encountered 8 well-entrenched anti-tank guns, which halted their progress. The other 2 task forces also faced significant obstacles and could not make substantial advancements. The Ardennes offensive was losing its momentum, but amidst the chaos, a smaller-scale operation called Nordwind continued to wage its own ferocious battle until mid-January. As the dust settled, the General Staff devised a daring plan to break through the fortified Allied lines and establish a crucial bridgehead at Hagenau for further attacks. To accomplish this audacious mission, 2 formidable divisions were assigned: the renowned Frundsberg Division, renowned for their unyielding spirit, and the fearsome 6th SS Gebirgs Division, known for their tenacity on the battlefield. Leading the charge was the valiant Obersturmführer Bachmann, a mere 20 years old, but with a heart aflame with unwavering determination. Fate had thrust him into command when his superior officer fell injured during the heat of battle. Undeterred by his youth, Bachmann fearlessly took charge, his gaze fixed on the prize before him. In a display of audacious bravery, Bachmann embarked on reconnaissance missions, riding a bicycle deep into enemy territory. Under the cover of darkness, he single-handedly dismantled a formidable Sherman tank that crossed his path, sending a resounding message to the Allied forces. Buoyed by this early success, Bachmann rallied his forces, mustering 2 tanks to spearhead a thunderous assault. As the ground shook beneath the weight of their advance, Bachmann's tanks tore through the enemy lines, obliterating Sherman tanks with ruthless precision. Explosions lit up the night sky as enemy steel met its fiery demise. The battle raged on, and Bachmann's forces triumphed, capturing a staggering 60 prisoners in their wake. But Bachmann's conquest did not end there. In a twist of fate, his forces managed to destroy 8 additional Sherman tanks, leaving nothing but twisted metal and shattered dreams in their wake. However, the most astonishing feat lay before them. Against all odds, Bachmann and his resolute troops laid claim to 12 Sherman tanks, capturing them in their entirety. With a daring and cunning plan, Bachmann compelled the once American tanks to advance, their turrets manned by German soldiers, a stark reminder of the unpredictable nature of war. The battlefield echoed with the sound of engines roaring as these captured war machines surged forward under their new masters, striking fear into the hearts of their former comrades. The relentless assault pressed on, charging from Herlesheim toward Drusenheim like a tempest of fury and destruction. In its path, it left nothing but wreckage and chaos. The thunderous roar of gunfire reverberated through the air as shells tore through the enemy's defenses, leaving naught but smoldering ruins in their wake. Despite the crumbling facade of the German war machine, it remained a force to be reckoned with. The attack from Herlesheim to Drusenheim led to the destruction of 9 enemy tanks. The German forces advanced with determination, engaging in a fierce battle. The Panthers, formidable tanks renowned for their strength, played a significant role in the fight. With precision, the Panthers maneuvered through the war-torn streets, unleashing devastating firepower on the enemy's armored vehicles. Gunfire echoed, causing chaos with explosions. The German tanks demonstrated superior firepower and strategic maneuvering, destroying 9 enemy tanks. This accomplishment shifted the balance of power on the battlefield. Despite the losses, the remaining Allied forces refused to yield. They adapted tactics, seeking cover and employing defensive measures to protect their remaining assets. Their determination pushed them to hold their ground against the relentless German offensive. By January 25, 1945, the information reached Hitler, and he decided to cancel the operation, primarily to address the massive assault of the Red Army in the east. The incident involving the captured Sherman tanks was deliberately downplayed by the Americans, and the fact that the crew of 12 tanks surrendered without a fight was never investigated. Furthermore, they piloted the tanks with an enemy soldier holding a gun beside them. Erwin Bachmann was awarded the Knight's Cross in February 1945. He later engaged in combat in Pomerania with the 1st Company against the Red Army. There are reports that he destroyed several T-34 tanks during the Battle of Christianenburg. In May 1945, he moved west and was captured by the British Army at Sandbostel. He passed away in 2010. In this battle, it wasn't sheer numbers that determined the outcome, but the exceptional skill and courage of 2 Panther tanks facing insurmountable odds. These steel behemoths stood tall against wave after wave of enemy fire, displaying the true spirit of determination. Despite facing overwhelming numbers, the Panthers maneuvered with precision, outsmarting their foes at every turn. They moved like predators, striking fear into the hearts of their adversaries. The battlefield became their playground as they decimated tank after tank. This epic battle will forever be remembered as a testament to the indomitable spirit and superior technology of the Panther tanks. Thank you for watching this video about the remarkable battle between 2 Panthers and over 20 enemy tanks. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more thrilling historical accounts. See you guys soon.